This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Every time we get together with her, I've learned so much and about health and wellness, holistic healing. Today, we're going to talk about something that challenges many people of all different ages, whether you believe it or not, talking about high cholesterol. How do we regulate that in a natural way? Intrigued to learn more from her, Teresa Wilkinson. She's the woman behind Path to Wellness in Tulsa. Welcome back. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I before we start, I'm usually, listing your credentials. I want you to share with us, nurse, right? Registered nurse, correct?
Right.
What are
Oriental medical doctor.
Gotcha.
And then you could say I'm a naturopath because I deal with herbology and diet and nutrition. So, kind of all around wellness.
And there at your center, don't you also do massage therapy as well?
Yes, we do. Massage therapy. I do what's called structural balancing or postural integration. So I fix a lot of different, a lot of injuries, a lot of sports injuries, different things like that. We do have some people that just want to come in for relaxation and more of a Swedish massage. We have herbal wraps, sea salt scrubs. So, of course, the acupuncture. I like to combine the acupuncture with massage, and I like to use hot packs first on the back, get people loosened up, massage first to find their areas of concern. And then I do the acupuncture, and then I will massage that out because then you'll see the difference between, oh, that was super painful before. Now, after the acupuncture, you rub that. Now I feel no pain at all. Everything's smoothed out. All the
Wow.
knots are gone. So I combine techniques.
Well, thank you for mentioning acupuncture because I didn't hit that today. I've hit it in the past. You do a lot. Let's do something about cholesterol. So you get diagnosed by your primary or cardiologist that you have high cholesterol, maybe borderline, whatever it might be. Normal course of treatment would be the statin. And
Yes.
more I hear about that. Not really the best thing long term. This is what I read. This is what I hear. Would love your feedback on that as well.
Okay, so good point. Um, what I find, and this is where I deal with a lot of neuropathy, or I have somebody come in with, they've just had heart surgery, whether it's open heart or they've had stents or um, valves replacements, but they'll tell me how bad their legs hurt, that their legs are in so much pain and they're just muscle cramps and they're just can hardly walk and they can't stand up and they're young. They may be just 40 years old or something. And they were really healthy otherwise. They've worked out all their life, eaten well, good shape. But what it statins do is they will he said he was on 5 statins of all things.
What?
Now, my brother's on 2 and he won't listen to me, but they will cause these muscle cramps and weaknesses. They cause arteriosclerosis to the blood vessels, and that's where you can get the neuropathy. So you get numbness, weakness. By the time I get these people that are in their 80s and 90s, they're shuffling. Well, then you're a fall risk. Then you're on a walker. You can't
Whoa.
feel your feet. You can't do anything active. Now, there's other problems that will happen, which is diarrhea or constipation, fatigue, joint pain, liver problems, less common are liver problems. You can have allergic reactions like rashes, hives.
Oof.
It can cause increased blood sugar levels, which puts you right into diabetes. And then
And
you
isn't that so counterproductive? You're taking a statin to lower your cholesterol, but it's raising your blood sugar.
exactly. And then it can cause even increased risk in developing cardiacs to your eyes. So I have patients that, oh, okay, I can't stand up. I have to sit down. I've got I've had cataracts to my
Cataracts.
eyes
Yeah.
removed. Yeah. And so that numbness and
I don't. I
tingling
just want
in
you to stop talking. I don't want to hear anymore. 'Cause I have no idea. No, I mean that with love. It's like just like
the,
what the like. And I'm going to be fully transparent. Here we go. Here we go. I'm on a very low dose statin for about a year because I was borderline on the cholesterol, and I said, "Well, doctor, I'll just change my diet. I'll do." No, and he put me on it. He says, your family history, you need to be on this. And then I said, was going to follow up a few months later. Do you know that you lowered your risk of a cardiac event by 40% from being on that? That's exactly how he sounded too. And I was like, okay, great. Um, he's no longer in my plan, and he was fine. He was a good doctor. I felt comfortable with him. I have a new doctor I'm going to see, cardiologist. Again, I don't have any major issues ever, but I figured, let me reset where we're at here. And yes, the pain, the achiness, I experienced that, and then started taking CoQ10,
yeah.
and apparently that alleviates it. I don't know how much. Um, and sometimes I'm a little achier than I think I should be, and I'm wondering probably from the
I
even
would quit. I would quit taking it for a few weeks and see if you feel any different.
okay.
It's not going to hurt anything.
And it's
Now,
such a low dose. Like honestly, it's the lowest dose you could possibly. I think like 20 milligrams or something like that.
okay, so then, do you know your numbers on your cholesterol and your triglycerides? Do you remember your lab numbers?
Great question. Don't remember them. Again, according to him, it was just, it was borderline. It was right there. But because of past family history and such, that's what compelled him to not look at anything else and just get on this thing right away.
Well, the thing is if you were extremely high, then I would say yes. But if you're not, I would say no. And you've got to be your own advocate.
Right.
You've got to protect yourself. You can't go by just what some doctor says, because you've got to realize, going back in history, Rockefeller owned oil, gas, and chemicals. So he hired chemists to figure out the breakdown of herbs and herbal formulas and put them in a pill, patent them. And then he started medical schools saying, don't do anything natural, only prescribe big pharma, testing, and
Mm.
surgery. And that's been taught in medical schools ever since. So FDA is real strong. If you're a medical doctor, I've known one guy that was murdered, one that was two that have been completely shut down. But because they were adding alternative medicine in with their Western medicine practice, they were threatened, and one was actually murdered. So FDA is pretty hardcore, and it all goes back to Rockefeller. So we've got to go back in history on how this all started and where we are now. And we know insurance companies and big pharma are
Yes, buddies.
in control. So, and then the other increased risk is certain types of cancer, even on
Mm.
the statins. But this poor guy had been on 5 of all things. So he said through his heart surgery, they started getting him off of 4. He's down to 1, but his legs were just killing him. But
Nice.
um, I but I had a patient whose triglycerides, she'd gone through a bunch of stress, she'd had some surgery,
Hmm.
um, and some uh, different kinds of stress in her life, and so she was drinking uh, wine and then a little bit of, say, a shot of peanut butter whiskey or something, and her triglyceride levels were 750, which they're supposed to be around less than 200. And she just changed. She started consuming less, getting a better grip on the alcohol intake, then just continuing on with a good diet and some exercise, and she got it down to 200 within a couple months.
So can I share with you? And it's not about me, but I believe we learn from these stories. I'm learning from you right now about that, that other gentleman. Um, it was about 10 years ago. I had changed positions job wise. I was running a radio station, doing the morning show, running a marketing company. Had my kids were smaller. Just bought a house and was renovating it, and I was kind of burning a candle on both ends. So
Yeah.
a lot of times I'd be at work and it's like, all right, time to eat. Oh, let me grab a protein bar, put that down. Time to eat again. I don't have time. protein bar, put that down. Get a call from my primary and says, you need to come in. I'm like, why? No, he's just come in. Make an appointment, come in. I'm like, tell me what's going on. What do we got going on here? He said, well, we got your labs back and your triglycerides were touching 400. And, I'm like in freak mode back then. I didn't know anything about it. And I did go in, we talked, and it turns out those protein bars were responsible for spiking my triglycerides because
I
I would
believe
eat.
it.
What
Because they
are
were
they?
had sugar. Too much.
Ding.
Yeah.
Yes. And then here I am thinking it's a balance bar. It's balanced. It's got the right amount of carbs and
Right.
protein and fat. So, it's not the best choice for a meal, but it's all right. No. So I'm just sharing that. If you see a spike, look at your diet, look at your your carb, your
Okay.
sugar
So
intake.
so this is interesting. Okay. So I had somebody that was going through the system and having to have UA checks because of a DUI. And they got off the alcohol. They went in for their UA, and they registered positive. And so they said, "What's the deal?" So I looked up, okay, what could give a false positive for alcohol in your system? A ripe banana, which I make banana cake and protein drinks with the ripe banana.
Oh, me too.
Anything with balsamic vinegar dressing. So who doesn't experience having that? I do like a creamy dressing, but anyway, a lot of people that have had cancer go vegan, and this is the things they do for probiotics. They'll do Greek yogurt, they'll do kombucha, they'll do sauerkraut mixed into their salads. They'll do the balsamic vinegar because they're trying to balance the pH because cancer has to do a lot with pH and also parasites and that kind of thing. So if you are a high meat and sugar consumer, you're kind of setting yourself up for diabetes, heart attack,
Mm.
parasites. And they say we are loaded with parasites and we just don't know it. I know in the colon we are, but they even claim even cellularly. So I haven't researched that enough. But anyway, it turns out all those things that are like probiotics, but they're fermented. So anything fermented can show up as a false positive for alcohol in your UA. I thought that was interesting.
I want to
And
go
then
back to what you said a second ago about Greek yogurt. What was that? Let's hear that
anything
again.
that's got probiotics. So sauerkraut's a probiotic, kombucha is a probiotic, balsamic vinegar. A lot of times people do apple cider vinegar, teaspoon every day to balance the pH.
Why?
That's all
Why?
it's kind of a probiotic thing. It helps the digestion, the colon, and we've got the small intestine, we've got the large intestine. We talked about that before.
And again, why? Why is that so
The
impactful?
pH balance. We've got to have a good pH balance. If you're too acidic, that's when you're setting yourself up for disease, cancer, heart attack, um,
Oh,
ulcers.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So funny. All of this stuff, like I think about, I have a fresh bottle of apple cider vinegar sitting on my counter for about 5 months now. Heard it was good. Haven't opened it. I did use it like way back in the day for some digestion ulcer type issues, and it helped alleviate it back then. But I circled back on it. It's sitting on the counter. I had Greek yogurt for breakfast, so I'm gonna hit that apple cider vinegar. What's the harm, right?
Well, the
Just
thing is I have a tendency. I've got a sensitive stomach because I had ulcers when I was in my 20s, going through college and stress and remodeling houses and all that stuff.
yeah,
So I really don't. I'm not a good candidate for the apple cider vinegar. It's too acidic for my stomach,
might be for me
personally.
too, because
And it
I
could. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it is for you too, and that's why it's still sitting there.
But I didn't even get into it. I didn't do it yet.
Well,
Um,
you may want to use it for something else. Maybe come up with another recipe to use it.
I
There's probably
guess.
there's other recipes probably that require some vinegar. I'm thinking of some Italian stuff, that has the uh,
Sure. Well, I guess
yeah.
you would know. I guess you would know you take it a couple of spoonfuls, a couple of days later, and then you'd stop. I'm just saying. So looking at lowering our cholesterol in a holistic way, is this some of those ways? What else can we do?
Okay, so just know that actually God wouldn't put cholesterol in our body if it wasn't good for us. So naturally, cholesterol is actually the precursor for making essential steroid hormones in our body, like estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, other type of hormones. So cholesterol, and it also helps in our vitamin D synthesis. So cholesterol is actually our friend. It's just if we get the bad LDL increased, that's what causes the arterial sclerosis, the plaque buildup in our arteries, and it can also build up peripherally in our muscles, like our legs and stuff. So, what's weird is there's kind of an old saying, anything in excess goes to its opposite. So a lot of these medications they'll give you, say for the high cholesterol, that will cause plaque buildup and problems in your peripheral artery. Well, the medicine, the statins, cause that too. So
Wow.
it's kind of like, and the same like with back in the day when we treated arthritis, we treated it with steroids, and I called it. People would look like Humpty Dumptys. They'd have a big, huge, big body and little tiny legs and arms, and they couldn't feed themselves. They couldn't take care of themselves. They had to have full care. So anything in excess goes to its opposite. So they would treat it with one medication, but that medication made more arthritis. So anything in excess will cause the problem. So they'll give you medication for this problem, but the side effects of that medication will give you that problem. So you have to really watch it. But anyway, going
Wow.
back to what we can do next. So just know naturally cholesterol is actually good for us. Now, the biggest thing with triglycerides is what you're saying, sugar and alcohol is the biggest thing.
Uh,
So it's sugar and alcohol. So if you can, get a balance on that, you can lower your triglycerides. Cholesterol is going to be okay. One thing that I like the idea of is if you think of course, I love omega 3. So naturally in foods, omega 3 is going to be fish, salmon, sushi. Those are fun. Those are
or
fun to
fish
eat.
oil, which I take every day, and I take a more quality one. I've heard that don't bother with the cheap ones, the pharmacy brand ones. Go for quality manufacturers of it. I've been doing that for years. So let's look at a couple of these things here, at this juncture. Do you know what dosage of fish oil is appropriate, sufficient for the average person?
Well, I'm going to just off the top say 1,000, but sometimes it'll come in 3,000. But also, it's going to help with chronic pain and other inflammation, so it's not a bad thing
And your skin.
in your skin. Yeah,
It does.
it's
That
true. That's true.
who
So
recommended that to me said that. And then after about a month or so, I was like, you know what? It's like looking better than I
I
thought.
can't.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It's the proof in the pudding. Okay, so then beans and lentils.
Ah,
So I'm big on a bean burrito. I like to. I
yes.
can just eat a bowl of beans with some sour cream
Same.
and hot sauce, and I'm a happy camper.
I totally agree with you.
And
Even when I
it's
make a salad with chicken salad with, chicken, lettuce, peppers, a couple of things in there, I'll just crack open a can of beans, drain the liquid, and just put that in there. Fiber, a little bit of protein. Yeah. All right.
That's right, and it also regulates blood sugar, and it's
Fabulous.
also good for your heart.
Got to hit that a little harder.
So
Okay.
what I do is I make a big pot of beans. I've done this all my life. I use a crock pot. I saute some onion,
Mhm.
pepper,
Yes.
garlic, and then
Give me your address.
and then once I make my big pot of beans, and then I add of course, salt and some. I actually use some uh, Chinese the sweet sauce for your egg rolls and stuff. I'll add some of that. But anyway, I make it sweet, make it tasty, and then I package it in containers. If you keep your to go containers that people give you in plastic containers that are good containers, not styrofoam. You can freeze portions of that, and then as you use them, you just get out another container and thaw it out, and then you've got homemade beans, and
Love it.
it's not that hard. You just use a crock pot, stir up some things. Oh, and the other thing is if you soak your beans in baking soda for about an hour and then pour that water off, it will keep you from having any flatulence.
Mm. Say that again?
If you soak your beans, say you get a bowl, and I kind of have a container that's got a spout on it. Anyway, I put my beans in it, fill it with water, put some baking soda in there, a couple of tablespoons, stir it up, let it soak for an hour, then pour that water off, and then put my beans in my crock pot where I've had all my stirred up sauteed veggies, and then I add my water, put the lid on, let it cook. But it will keep you from having any flatulence or anything.
You're a genius. Where's you
So
got
that
an,
way,
you got an
so
answer
that way.
for everything.
Okay, so then nuts. Who doesn't like nuts on their salad? Almonds, walnuts, pistachios. I mean, sprinkle a little nuts on your salad. That doesn't hurt anything.
Do it
Or
all the time.
I have it for a snack.
I love it. As a matter of fact, like where are we? Are we spirit people? Like I have no salt peanuts every day as a snack in between breakfast and lunch. Just a handful, sitting right over there. I walk out, maybe walk back from the hallway for a second. I'm like, no, just grab one handful. All I like every day. And there's a lot of great benefits with nuts. Wouldn't overdo it. A lot of calories, a lot of fat in them. Just don't overdo it. My opinion. But it's great for you.
Yes, so I'm big on keeping I'm big on keeping peanut butter around.
Same.
If I start, getting weak or tired or low blood sugar, I just take a big dollop of peanut butter, and then what I mentioned in a previous podcast was the spirulina and bee pollen. I keep
Hmm.
that handy, and I'll take a couple of tablets of those. But peanut butter is a go-to.
You know what I
Peanut
love
butter
it
is a
on?
great go-to.
I want to keep the carbs down. So I'll get a low carb wrap, like a tortilla, but there's many low carb challenge
Yeah,
versions out
yeah.
there, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes they're bigger. So I'll rip it in half and I'll put some peanut butter on it, roll it up. It's like magical. And if you really want to just treat yourself, my opinion here, tiny bit of jelly. Don't want to overdo the sugar in there, but just a little bit. It's like a PB&J wrap,
It
but
is. Yeah,
it picks you up and keeps you going. You don't
it
even need a
does.
lot. Yeah,
It does.
good stuff.
It's magic. I mean, that's like a go-to. And so the other
Hmm.
thing, speaking of jelly, is fruits, berries, grapes. So say you add some grape jelly to it.
Yeah.
That's actually good. And so I make a smoothie every week. Say it might last me 4 or 5 days, but I take a blender. I put in my banana, berries, strawberries, blueberries, maybe some spinach, yogurt, and then protein powder. I do use milk. Sometimes I have some other juices around, but I use
Or,
milk
or even like
and
almond milk.
blend it up. And then I put it in jars. And every morning, that's what I take my supplements with is my protein drink.
Teresa, I know this is ridiculous. I do the same exact thing, but I never thought of, I'm embarrassed to admit this, making a lot of it and putting into jars because it's like, walk down, I'm half asleep, or I put everything in the blender, the bullet, it's
Yeah,
one serving. All right, I'll just do it. But oh my gosh, to do it all in one hit,
yeah, I
I,
did it all in one hit. You make a big old blender of it and then put it in jars, and then it'll last you 4 or 5 days. The
and
other thing you
I'm sorry, go
can
ahead.
do, well, the other thing you can do, and this is one of the things about lowering cholesterol, is oatmeal or barley. But you can make a pot of oatmeal and then add some oatmeal to that protein drink, and it'll make it really thick and smoothie.
I'm so not the chef. That's a great idea. I never even thought of that. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So
This is
I
great.
do want to tell you that avocados are very good in lowering cholesterol, and that's another thing you can put on your salads, and the beans. And then
Hmm.
one of the supplements that I think is real vital that doesn't get much attention is it's acetyl L-carnitine. And carnitine is real good for lowering cholesterol and triglycerides. And some of these IV nutrition medical spas will do IM injections. So before you do your labs, you can go in and you can buy a package of 5. It's about $40. They're an IM injection, and you can do about 5 of those before your labs, and it will for sure get your cholesterol down for your lab. But it's
We're
good
out of
to take.
time. What is that again?
It's acetyl L-carnitine. And you can get it in a supplement form. So I take it every day, but I found it to work better than the CoQ10.
Ceto, say it again.
Acetyl L-carnitine. So it's a capital L dash carnitine. Acetyl L-carnitine. So you know that's got to be amino acid because it ends in an ine.
I betcha. I have that in my cabinet at home. Bought it, probably never used it, like everything else.
And forgot about what it was good for.
Right. But initially, it's like, I heard this is good. I don't know why it's good, but I heard it's good. But until I find out why it's good, I'm not going to use it. Same thing with the apple cider vinegar. This is amazing. You make holistic living fun. You do.
Well, we're on the same page, I think.
Yeah, and I proof there that everything we're talking about, I shared, I experienced. So I get what you're saying, where we don't want to be on these meds if we don't need to be. Teresa, what's the best? And by the way, disclaimer: consult your doctor before you do anything. How do we connect with you? Somebody's got a question. I know that you're located in Tulsa, so that's where the hands-on treatments take place, massage, acupuncture, and such. But all this other stuff, I got to believe, you can do it virtually, a consultation. How do we find you?
Okay, so it's the Path to Wellness in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the website is Path to Wellness Tulsa or tulsapath.com. And I've got Facebook. You can message me and just give a call and we'll take care of you.
This coming from a medical professional, RN, along with everything else. Thank you for today. Thank you for this insight, validation, and such. And I got to go shopping, get some stuff to get. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
All right. You bet.
We'll catch up next time.
Okay. All righty. Bye-bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.